Welcome to episode 72 of G. Haller's Beer Reviews. This afternoon I will be reviewing Tiger Beer. So this is quite a popular beer. Most people would know Tiger. If you're a beer drinker, you would have seen it before and most likely had it. It says it's won a few gold medals here on the front here, but I'm telling it a few years ago now. I think the latest one was 99. So I don't know if this is still the same brewery as back then, but would like to think it is. Established in 1932. It's actually brewed in Singapore, and this is the export brew. It comes in a 330 milliliter stubby at 5% alcohol by volume. So it says the finest quality hops and malted barley to give it a distinctive taste. Should be served between 4 and 6 degrees Celsius. So I've got this nice and chilled up, so I'd imagine it would be between those. So without further delay, let's crack it open. Now I've just got a chilled Pilsner glass here. Okay, get it in there. Always like to get a bit of force into the pouring it because I find it really gets the carbonation going. Okay, as for the appearance, it is a very light straw colour. Quite light as you would expect of some lagers. Yeah, it is a very light beer. You can see through it. Down where this glass narrows down at the bottom, it's almost see-through, clear. It doesn't have much at all. So yeah, it is a very light beer. As for the head, it's a very clean white head. Yeah, it's almost white as snow. As for how much head there is, just over 2 fingers. Carbonation is moderate. I've seen more carbonated beers, but not sure. Sometimes that's hit and miss. As we know, we can have depends on a few things: the glass, the pour, and the beer itself. But there's a bit of carbonation there, but not as much as I usually see in lagers. As for the smell, I'm picking up a bit of adjunct there. Picking up some malt as well. There's a sweet malty smell, but not much hops. I'm not getting much of a hoppy smell there. It smells okay though. It smells inviting. It's not offensive in any way, but there's just not much to it. Bit of a malty smell. Alright, without further delay, taste test. Cheers. It's quite a thin bodied beer. Very sweet. A very strong, sweet, malty taste throughout the beer. It follows the nose, as Swillengrog likes to say, and that's definitely true. It smells sweet and it tastes very sweet. Bitterness is on the lesser side. Yeah, the bitterness in this beer is not excessive at all. It's quite limited. It's very clean though, and refreshing. It's not offensive in any way. Sometimes you can get the mass-produced lagers, which Tiger has now become. As much as people would say it's not, or some would say it's not, it has become that somewhat. It's an international beer now. It's an imported beer, so it is a macro lager. Sometimes that can be very offensive. It's just the balance isn't right. The sweetness and the bitterness is not right, or one's more than the other. But as I said, with this one, the sweetness is what is standing out for me. It is quite sweet. For me, not enough bitterness. I like that initial sweetness. I think that's great in a lager, but I like it to be followed with a nice bitterness that lingers in the palate. And I'm not getting that much with this. It is there a little bit, but not much at all. I'll give it another sip and then I'll give it a score. Yeah. Sessionability is high. As I've had a few more sips, I'm starting to get a little bit of the hop taste and a bit of the hop bitterness. As I said, sessionability is high. You could have a number of these, and you could imagine a hot summer in Asia or anywhere, like even Australia here. They will go down a treat. And I reckon that'd be okay out of the stubby too, to top a beer, like Australian lagers that you can drink out of the stubby. But of course, for the purpose of this review, I poured it into a glass to get, judged the beer fairly. But yeah, it's not bad. I'll give it one more sip and then I'll give it a score. As I said, it's not offensive. It is very refreshing. A nice sweet taste. Only thing that'll be a bit more for me is a little bit more bitterness. But that could come down to my preference. Some people don't like the real bitter beers, so this could be a real seller for them. So in saying that, what would I give Tiger Beer? I'll give it 7.5 out of 10. I think it's a reasonable lager. It holds its own against the other macro lagers, and as I said, it's very nice tasting and refreshing. So it has its place. 7.5 out of 10 for Tiger Beer or Lager Beer. Thank you so much for watching another G Hello Beer review, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.